Hello, everyone and no one, and welcome to another Rotn Explains Things, probably poorly. Today, I'm going to be talking about a recipe I made when I was intoxicated, when I originally figured this thing out, back when I was still in the service, and made it for a couple friends on a Thanksgiving because none of us had family, and have made it before, and it actually was a pretty good hit at a couple of events. Well, we'll get rid of this, and the first thing you're going to need is a rice thing. I like using the Nor or Canor. I have pronounced it incorrectly for years. I didn't even realize those were R's because I read cursive like crap. But it'll have the directions on the back. And while you're going through, you don't have to add any spices to it, so it makes it a little bit easier for some people. Maybe not good enough for others. You do your own thing. After that, you're going to need a meat. I usually go with the canned chicken because it's relatively inexpensive. I know some people might say it tastes terrible, but honestly, if you after you open it, you go through and you rinse the meat out with water, it's not near as bad. So as you've brought this up to your rice up to boiling and it's starting to simmer, you can easily just throw your chicken in with it. So that way, if it's not already preheated, it can heat. While that's being done, which is usually going to take relatively about 7 minutes or so, you can go get everything else you're going to prepare because you're going to take some chili. Whether you use canned chili, make your own, it's kind of your own thing you can do on that one. But you'll nuke it unless you're already making it side by side. While that's all doing that, you can get a big old crock pot, which is usually the best thing. But if you're going to use a crock pot, highly suggest you invest in crock pot liners. They'll make your cleanup exponentially easier. One of the things I like to add once all these have been made and you go to add them into the crock pot is some green chili. I like it in there. Now, after you put all those in the crock pot and everything, you're going to add some salsa. And as you're going through and you're mixing everything, you're going to get it to whatever consistency you want. You add a little too much salsa, it is going to be more soupy than thick. Now, the great thing about this is I get rid of all these, is it'll look something like this, which may not look appetizing to some because it was a bad angle and not proper light. But this is something that actually works really good for a dip, or you can, throw it on a tortilla with some salsa, or not with some salsa, with some cheese. It can work for everything. It's a good thing that you can have for that. You can do it for more of a party. The first time I made this for one of the parties I went to, when again back in the service at a friend's house, I had quite a bit to bring back. The next time I had actually used venison with it as well from a deer my first deer I had gotten, and went through that, and they scraped the sides of the bowl it was in to get everything off it. You can also add more spices to it as well. One of the things I've liked recently to add is tahini. Frank's Red, though, is a pretty good classic. Well, that's something you can try if you so choose. I make no bones about whether or not you'll like it. You may not. This has been a Rotn Explains Things Probably Poorly. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, don't eat the entire thing all at once. It's, like I said, probably not the best for your health. You should eat it in moderation. Have a great one, folks.